What's up, guys? Isaac here, and I want to talk about the quarter system. And that's an idea I got out of this new book here, The 5 a.m. Miracle, I just recently finished by Jeff Sanders. I recommend everybody check that out. That was recommended to me by a friend who's really into productivity, kind of productivity nerd per se. Anyway, a big idea I got out of this book is the idea of the quarter system. And before I start talking about that, I want to talk about Parkinson's Law. Now, for people that know what Parkinson's Law is, Parkinson's Law pretty much says that a task is going to get completed in the set amount of time that is given, right? Like, for an example, if I was to give you an assignment and I gave you 4 weeks to do it, let's say I'm a college professor or university professor, even though it might take you only 2 hours to finish the assignment, you are going to require the whole 4 weeks in order to do it, right? Because you're going to procrastinate and leave it to the last minute. Whatever time frame is given for an objective to be completed is how long it's going to take. Rarely and almost never do people finish things before the due date. You never see or barely ever see students finish the assignment 2 weeks before the due date or get started on the assignment the day it's given. Everybody seems to drag it on to complete the time, and that's Parkinson's Law. So the problem with this is when we make our New Year resolutions at the start of the year, we have these great ideas that we want to accomplish, or these great things we want to do to better ourselves. But because of Parkinson's Law, what tends to happen is we feel like we've got a large amount of time, and we end up pushing these goals to the end of the year where we start rushing through and trying to get everything done real quick like. So to avoid this, Jeff talks about working on a quarter system. Now this is nothing new, but it's new to me. It might be new to some of you guys. That's working off a 3-month year. So that means at the start of the year, the first 3 months, you set your goals, you set your things that you want to accomplish, and you hit them hard and you stay consistent with it. You make sure that every day you're getting closer to the goal and you complete it within 3 months. The idea is you're trying to do what most people would do in 1 year in 3 months, because a lot of us tend to waste time. We are able to work at 3, 4, 5 times the capacity that we generally work at. So that's why the quarter system is really valuable. It allows you to really become more productive with a strict deadline and not fall victim to Parkinson's Law. And the reason I think this is important is because a lot of us, I feel, seem to forget about our mortality. We seem to forget that one day we're going to die. We live as if we're going to live forever, as Seneca says. And the reason this is because I feel that in modern society, the idea of death has been so far removed. Back in the day, you would see death all the time. Generally, you might have to go to war, you encounter famine, maybe a loved one would die in the house, you'll be confronted with death all the time, and you would know very well that you are not going to live on this planet forever. This will motivate you to do what you need to do at a quicker rate and more efficiently, instead of falling for the bullshit a lot of people do in this day and age. In this day and age, old people are thrown off at the hospital to die. You don't see them. Funerals are not in the middle of the city, they're at the outskirts, and we have been bamboozled by technology. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. We tend to forget about our mortality. So we live each day as if we're going to live forever, and this is the biggest problem because it doesn't help us in our self-actualization. When we live like this, what tends to happen is we start chasing pleasure, we start watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta or playing Dragon Age or World of Warcraft, whatever bullshit you do for most of your life. And you don't work towards the things that you actually need to be working towards. You don't work towards your fulfillment. And that is the problem. So that's why it's really valuable to take a step back sometimes and actually see the world as it is. Understand that you're not here forever, and understand that you need to be doing what you need to do if you are truly going to be happy at the end of your life. Because the biggest problem a lot of people have when they are actually on their deathbed, they've actually done a study on this, so they've got some answers, is that people have the problem of regret, of not doing the things they want to do. You don't want to be one of these people that regrets So that's why I encourage the quarter system. And make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, maybe share it to a friend who's slacking off. And yeah, check out Jeff's book. I'm not getting paid for this, of course, but it's a good book, so I'll give credit where credit is due. Peace.
Do it! Just do it!